Congratulations on your new film, Other.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hey, so tell us where the original idea came from for your film.
It's a personal thing. I have somebody in my family who's looked as a different person in the world for physical question. I mean, like physical disability. It's someone very, very close to me. And I saw because now he's a bit younger than me, but he's I saw how the way people were looking at him change with times, and fortunately, because I mean, hopefully, people I mean, when you were disabled in the beginning of 20th century, I think it was tougher than today, I mean, there are still a lot of things to be done, but it's better. And I saw how the way people were looking at him change through the years, and hopefully now it's better. It's not perfect, but better. And I wanted to make a movie on the way we're looking at difference or deformities or stuff like that, and the fact that it's not most of the time it's not what you look which is different or ugly or disgusting or it's just the way you're looking at things. So it's something I really wanted to tell. I mean, like I think I wrote probably one or two scripts with this core idea that was filling the lines of the scripts, and this story came out first, and so it's the main reason I had. There is a movie, a movie which probably I'm sure you've seen it in The Elephant Man. There is a scene where the drunk guys are making fool and making fun of the Elephant Man, and the title is also terrible. I mean, like Elephant Man, which is not his name, and they putting like a mirror on his face, and they are laughing about him. They are drunk and all that. And this scene, I actually cannot see it because it's too for me too deep, too terrible, too sad. I mean, like it's terrible scene. And in this scene, you understand that what is the ugliest thing in the scene is what these guys are doing and not him,
Mhm.
And this is something I always wanted to tell in a movie, this core idea of that. So probably it's a mix between this, having seen this scene and my personal experience, you know.
Now, how did you want to portray the beast or what you call the bet?
I knew that the difficulty of it is what that I didn't want it to see it until the end, So you have to find a way to show it without showing it. So it was trying to find ideas to portray it without portraying it. So, and always to find different ideas in order for it not to be only like a dark shadows, or stuff like that. So, but it was really my thing. It's just like not saying how to showing something that I don't want it to be shown. So of course the sound is playing a part with it, the sound and the way we are hiding it in the shadows and not only in the shadows. So yeah, it was one of my, and the sound of course, which was very particular with the beast, and I knew that it will embody this. I mean, like I love, when you have the chance as an audience to play with your imagination, your own imagination. And for me, like hearing something that you don't see and like trying to portraying it yourself as an audience will always be more. I mean, for me, it's always I always I am always more scared with what I don't see than with what I see, you know, even if it's wonderfully made, you know. But and sometimes you have like scary images that actually like blast you. But in this movie, I knew that I needed to hide more more to show than more to show.
Speaking of not being seen, the mother plays a psychological, adversary to the main character, Alice. How did you want to carefully handle that? Because you could feel her presence throughout the entire film.
I mean, you know, like in life, nothing is black or white. Everything is gray. You know, you're not like terrible I mean, like, of course, there are terrible people, but I'm always like wanting to find a right balance, even with characters which are like supposed to be terrible, you know. So this mother is in love with her daughter, and she actually underling her love in a, I do think, not the right way. But it's a way of like, you know, trying to. Yeah. I wanted her to be, you know, I saw a documentary of this on this beauty pageant stuff with kids, you know, like 10 years old kids, and then I always find it a bit awkward, I have to say, that to put a 10 years old kid in a dress with makeup, I always find it like a bit off, you know. And what was really scary for me was like the parents around very happy to, and I'm a father, you know. I will never never in the whole world never put my child in front of a camera at 10 years old with makeup and a dress, you know, never. But it's okay, I'm not judging, but and I find those person were around like being trying to have their kids like perfectly well put, you know. So I always find it like pretty disturbing. And in a way, I think they love their child. I mean, but I mean, like it's halfway to love your child. I do find, and so I needed to have this her around without being here. So as I was avoiding to make flashback in this movie, because it's not that I don't like flashback, it's that I don't like flashback. I'm not a big fan of flashback because it's a very easy way to. So I needed to. I made I played in the editing with the sound, you know. So I made like audio flashback probably, and the fact that she's recollecting her past with those videotapes was a way for me not to make like typical flashback, but to get inside the past through through the present, you know. And as she has this very Eastern low voice and all that, I mean, like her voice was really important for me. So as the same for the Beast, you know, I wanted us to portray her with the sound, with a painting on her on the wall, and so we can make our own character in our mind, you know, as an audience. I really wanted the audience to work with their imagination, you know.
Well said. And one last thing, the house, the compound is a character to itself. How did you want to handle that?
The house,
Yes, because it's a
uh,
character.
you know, as I told you, I wanted to avoid flashback, and the house needed to be filled with the past of Alice, you know, like the moment she stepped out of her house when she was younger. It's the moment where the house stopped to evolve, you know, and the house was fixed and blocked in this moment, especially. So everything needed to fill this time period, you know. So I had an idea of this post 70s, 80s look, you know. So we saw tons of different houses, but not yeah, we saw a lot. And this one for me was like I felt like I can give you almost the year that it was built. I mean, it feels in the wall that it was 980, 86, I think, 85-ish. So I mean, it was a bit too old from the moment she left the house. But actually, I can feel like almost the year it was made. So it was that for me. It was, and I wanted it to be a bit off, but not too much. I don't want it to be have this haunted house and all that. I wanted just a house to have some personality without being too haunted like or too big or too. So this one was perfect for me. I mean, like I when like the second I saw the house, I knew that it was this one.
Well said, Dave, David. David, thank you very much for carrying this conversation about Other. It is one creepy movie and has a really good message towards the end. So thank you very much for making
Thank
this
you
movie.
for your great question. Thank you for that, and have a wonderful day.
You too.